talked about kind of getting Joe to the point where he adjusts to lineups, shows them different things multiple times through the order. Sixth inning, that third time through escape today, kind of an example of what you're hoping to see there from him.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're hoping to see from Joe in his last start. He looked good. He competed nicely. He got into a stretch kind of in the middle of the outing where maybe his best stuff wasn't there, but he found a way to pitch, and he found a way to mix in his breaking balls, his his changeup, and kind of fight through some things, as opposed to us going to the bullpen and bringing someone in and letting someone kind of face some guys with some runners on. I thought it was great for him to go out there and muscle through the lineup, and he looked great. I think it was a perfect way to wrap his season. A great rookie year from him. We just gave him the ball in the locker room for the Twins single season rookie strikeout record, in which apparently he topped Francisco Liriano. Pretty amazing. So I think he should be very, very pleased, and he has something very nice to build on going forward.
When you assess his season, what are the biggest areas of growth you've seen from him?
Well, I think it's a good question. I think there's a few things that he did well going forward. I've talked about the development of his other pitches. I think early on he went out there and competed mainly with what was his best pitch at the beginning of the year and throughout his career, which is that good fastball with the good deception and maybe not true carry, but a pitch he can just continually throw, and guys just don't seem to time it up well or see where it's coming from. But he knows, and he knew this before, but he kind of forced himself into some uncomfortable situations, which allowed him to grow a little bit and to mix in. Maybe more than mix in, use that slider at times, use that curveball against specific hitters. There are guys out there that need to see a good changeup with some depth, and that's what he spent some time on. And we saw the benefits. He pitching later into the game in some of these outings, I think, was very good for him. Was he prepared to do that early on in the season? We'll never really know, but. You saw good versions of him coming out in the not the fifth inning, but the sixth inning, and even the seventh inning. You still saw him going out there and kind of elevating his game and doing things like that. So I expect more of the same from him, and but I couldn't be more pleased with what we got from him this year.
So what do you think it looks like for him to take the next step and kind of moving forward as he continues to establish? What do you think the potential is there when he's in his fully realized form?
I do think that it's probably continuing the development of the things that he's already started. And those secondary pitches and finding out just what he's capable of with his secondary pitches as time goes on will be a great thing to watch. And with any pitcher in this league, this is a difficult league. This is not easy stuff we're talking about. It doesn't just happen, but the consistency and seeing what we got out of him this September throughout the entire season, I bet would be a goal of his. Being able to have himself at that level for the whole year, and just the consistency of outings, I think would be great. But as a whole, very, very good.
We got a lot of contributions from the bottom of the lineup today as you guys kind of built and carried through that lead. How important are these at-bats and just plate appearances at the end of the year for those guys who are kind of playing it through to the end of the year? Right?
Yeah. I think our guys are taking full advantage of these ABs and these games and being out there against major league competition. I mean, we saw a lot of good things. I mean, Palacios getting out there and getting back into the groove and, feeling it again and having some fun out there was great to see. Mark Contreras went out there and did a really nice job. Obviously, Correa had another big swing today, and he looked really good. But, up and down the line, Celestino had some good at-bats. Jeffers had some good at-bats. So, you look at Cave, you look at all these guys. When you get those types of contributions from the full lineup, up and down the lineup, that's when you start putting up, runs in bunches and looking up and seeing 7 runs on the board. That's what happens when everyone's swinging the bat and everyone's having good at bats and everyone's carrying out their plans.